there. Would you like to go ahead and state your name, who you are, and what you do?
Yes, I am Desiree Falcon, and I am Thelma's makeup department head.
Sounds great. I am Mary Gillespie, and I'm with Student Review out of Phoenix, Arizona. And this is my daughter, Sarah. I have a few questions for you here. I loved the premise of this movie. I was reading it and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is so fun. Is the movie, is it comedy or is it creepy or what?
It's a lovely dramedy.
There you go. That's what it sounds like. So, you said in a red carpet interview that this was the first movie where you were hired by email through your website.
Completely.
Given the movie story, were you suspicious at all?
No.
Really?
Bizarrely enough, like, I got the email and it was too legit sounding to not be real. And I think it was like also like that ping in my gut where like I read it and immediately was like, yeah, I want to talk to you. And I just like replied. And the rest is history. Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
What is your initial approach with a new project? Is it different for every project, or are there set steps you have to take to help you capture the look and feel of the character while taking into account the different factors? I'm reading somebody else's question.
I think that there's, a process in terms of like breaking down the script is always the same for me, but the process of finding who these people are, and every script is different, so everything we do is based off of what is written. So I think the approach is similar in the fact that I have to break down the script, I have to pull out the characters, I have to think about character development, I have to think about who these people are, but how that happens could be different for each script, if that makes sense. So there's something that has to happen every time, but every time those steps might be different.
Has this always been something you wanted to do, or did you stumble across it?
I stumbled across it, but I've always done it. I loved it. Like, dress up was really the only game I wanted to play as a child, and I wanted to dress up like everything and anything under the sun. Like, just let's play dress up. And all of my friends got real bored of that very quickly. I never did. I still want to play dress up. I really liked getting dressed today. I just like getting dressed and getting ready. You feel good about yourself when you're dressed and ready, and putting that. I didn't know I could do this for a living. I didn't know this was a thing, and it evolved in my life, and I'm so grateful and so blessed and so thankful that this is what I do, because my first day on set, it was like I knew what I was like created for. Everything made sense to me. Everything. It was like, oh my goodness, my whole life. In film and television production, like moving camera stuff, I think it's 15 or 16 years. But I've had various jobs in the makeup industry and worked corporate for a while, did counter work, freelanced for different brands, did a bunch of photo shoots, had a wedding business. I didn't even know I had a wedding business. That was news to me until I stopped doing weddings, and I was like, oh, I didn't know I had a wedding business. Yes, I did. So, yeah, but I just love what I do so much.
Do you have an inspiration? Anybody that's an inspiration to you?
That's a long list. Really amazing makeup artists. One of my favorite makeup artists is Alex Box, and I was lucky enough to assist her briefly. And she does not work in film. She does editorial, avant-garde, very beautiful, very skilled artistic makeups, and I think I've always just been so drawn to her because it's not what I do regularly, and there's so much inspiration that I've gleaned off of her throughout the years of my career, and I still go back to old references of hers, because she did a bunch of fashion work too, and there's a lot of fashion that is influenced and sometimes creating characters on who these people are, what they dress, what they look like. So I look at references everywhere, from museums to magazines to, you know, sometimes weird stuff in my kitchen, cartoons, like, you know, who knows, like beef jerky can become a scab if needed to be. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, so but she's one artist that I've always really looked up to because of her skill level, her creativity, how she thinks outside of the box, but also as somebody who doesn't do what I do. So I also find that fascinating. You know, we're the same but different.
That's really cool. What one of the questions here, which I think is really good for someone who wants to break into the field, what kind of advice would you give them? Because I know that it's like, it can be dog, and so like genuine advice would be that.
Don't give up. Just don't give up. Especially makeup can be tough. You know, and I think now that the internet is here and it seems so saturated, don't give up. Like, keep being you, because no one will ever be you. No one will ever have what you have. You can do the same makeup, but it will still be your makeup. You know, you can't stop and show up for yourself. Because if you show up for yourself every day, that means you're going to be able to show up for someone else. So when you get there, when you get your chance, you'll be prepared, you'll be ready, because you showed up for yourself.
Did I ask what your favorite genre is to work in? I don't think you did. So what is your favorite?
The one that pays. No, I'm just joking. I don't know. I really like period. I love to do period makeup. The 60s is one of my favorite eras. I love the 70s too. Some disco glam is always fun. But, you know, I can do effects work and injuries and stuff too. So sometimes, like, I've always wanted to do an action movie. I haven't really done like a full-fledged action flick yet. I think that would be fun. Who knows? I just love my job. I think every time I get to do it and every time I get to do makeup is a good day. So any type of makeup, you know, it's just great. Yeah.
Now, do you do like the prosthetics and stuff too?
I can, yeah. In some of my films, I've done the prosthetic work, and then sometimes I've hired that out to other people because of the schedule or the, you know, how shooting rolls. But I love working in conjunction with effects makeup artists because there's so many skilled and talented people, and being able to hire people is always something that I am so grateful that I get to do. Giving someone else a job is amazing, you know, because we all want to work, and any day any of us get to work is a good day.
It's a good day, isn't it? Do you have anything, Sarah, that you want to ask? Do you find it hard sometimes to, like,
Thank you so much, I appreciate it.
I know, like, when you put on a costume, it's like, okay, I'm in the costume. Do you have a lot of people that work that it's like, it's makeup on? Like, do you feel like it really changes the way that, like, an actor is able to get into the character, as opposed to, like, the big aesthetics, like, if you're doing
Yeah, I think they maybe just put that
normal, like,
Yes.
conveying that? And how do you feel like that helps an actor, like, get into it?
Yeah.
I think because we do sometimes their makeup differently than they do their own makeup. So like someone might do my makeup differently than I do my own makeup because everybody's eye is different and everybody is seeing something different. So like in Thelma, I didn't get a test with June. Her schedule was really busy, so the first day I saw her was the first day on set. So I had to do a lot of prep and a lot of planning and talked to the costume designer, the director, the producer, like everybody to get everybody's info to like come up with a solid plan. So when she landed, you know, we had a roadmap. And she had also not been in the makeup before, but they were so gracious that they built in time if we needed to make changes on that first day, like we had that ability to move forward. And But when she saw it, I remember she looked at herself in the mirror and she called her assistant who was with her, Kelly, over and said, Kelly, look at me. Look what I look like. Look at me. And she saw Thelma. And it was so cool. And every day I saw that in her too. Like when she was done with makeup, like she saw her character. And when she was done with hair, it got even more. When she put the clothes on, it was like another layer. And I've seen that with various actors over the years where they see the character start to come to life, even when it's just a regular beauty makeup or even a male grooming. Like sometimes you guys start to see their character in the mirror, and it's really cool. By the time they get up out of their chair, you know that there's been some kind of change that has happened, but it's really rewarding when you see it in front of the camera and you're like, that's cool. That's really cool. Well, I did a part of it. I did a part of it.
Amazing. Yeah. It is amazing. Okay, well, I don't have any other questions. Sarah, do you have anything else? Thank you so much.
Thank
We
you. Oh, you're
appreciate
so
that
welcome.
Great craft. We just love it. Thank
Oh,
you so
thank
much.
you. Thanks, you guys.
Bye.